This is a Kenmore Stylist 86, which is a 148/861. That is a machine made by Soryu for Sears Kenmore. This machine is a little bit different than most of the Kenmores and a lot of other machines because it doesn't have a tension button for winding your bobbin. So to wind the bobbin, there is a pair of spool pins on the back of the machine, which are actually on top of the lamp fixture. And then between those spool pins is a thread guide, and you need to run your thread from whichever spool pin through the thread guide between the two pins, and then to wind, you simply run your thread through this first guide on the back of the machine and then over to the bobbin, and the instructions say to wrap a few wraps around the bobbin before you engage it. This does have the regular clutch nut on the back of the wheel, so loosen the clutch nut and the hand wheel will turn freely to wind the bobbin. Alright, to thread this Kenmore 861, again, two spool pins on the back of the machine, and then there's a thread guide between the two spool pins, so you need to run your thread through this guide between the pins, then up through this rear guide, which is also the bobbin winding guide, and from the back guide, there's a guide on the front of the machine, go outside around the tensioner, and it has to come all the way around under the take-up spring, and then once we're under the take-up spring, we come under the hook here next to the tensioner, and there we go. Up through the take-up arm, there's a slot in the front cover of the machine and a hook at the bottom of the slot. So through that guide on the slot, and then there's a guide on the needle bar clamp, and the machine threads from the outside in. This is a side load class 15 machine. This is one of the HA1. It's not a 15 clone because they moved the tensioner onto the front of the machine again. But again, set our bobbin to unwind clockwise, goes into the slot here, and then gets pulled out under the tension spring near the finger. And because this machine is side loading, it's got the narrow slot on the top of the bobbin case. This has the flip up door instead of the slide, and it just snaps in place.